Then you will see that in Indus Valley civilization, 200 years of drought, various other ecological disasters came. On the other hand, Aryan invasion was started that resulted into the decline of Indus Valley civilization. So, the third important chronology advent of Aryans. Advent of Aryans. And what is the most important contribution of Aryans? Aryans gave us the most important religious scriptures called as Vedas. Getting my point? They started compiling Vedas. Clear? Then after this, you'll see the fourth important chronology, that is called as later Vedic period. Later Vedic period. Now this Stone Age, its time period starts from 5 lakh BC till 2900 BC. Indus Valley civilization time period from 2900 BC till 1500 BC. A biggest announcement for all the civil services aspirants as well as working professionals, those who are preparing for civil services examination. Legacy IAS has come up with one of the most important course and the most awaited course called as NCERT Foundation course. Now, NCERTs, which is considered as the background of UPSC and the lifeline of UPSC civil services examination. For example, you cannot create a building in a single day. A strong building requires a strong foundation, and that foundation is NCERT. तो इसीलिए Legacy IAS Academy लेकर आ रही है NCERT कोर्स, जो कि इस वीक से ही शुरू होने वाला है। तो जल्द से जल्द आप सभी लोग एनरोल करा सकते हैं फॉर योर बेसिक प्रिपरेशन। Advent of Aryans. Advent of Aryans. And what is the most important contribution of Aryans? Aryans gave us the most important religious scriptures called as Vedas. Getting my point? They started compiling Vedas. Clear? Then after this, you'll see the fourth important chronology, that's called as later Vedic period. Later Vedic period. Now this Stone Age, its time period starts from 5 lakh BC till 2900 BC. Indus Valley civilization time period from 2900 BC till 1500 BC. Aryans, they started coming from 1500 BC. Clear? Then from 1500 BC till 1000 BC, this advent of Aryan, this is also called as Rig Vedic time period. Rig Vedic period. And then from 1000 BC till 6th century BC, this is considered as later Vedic period. Then again, fifth important thing, 6th century BC. Now, why 6th century BC is important? As we have discussed that one chapter was there, na, new ideas and religions, Buddhism and Jainism. That was a landmark event. That is why segregated. Clear? So here, rise of new religions and towns and cities. This much is clear to all of you. Then the most important thing that came, called as India turned into superpower, called as Mauryan Empire. Mauryan Empire was formed from 321 BC till 185 BC. This much is clear to all of you. Centralized empire was there, and then this empire became weak and got disintegrated. Getting my point? Now, this is sixth important topic. Then seventh important topic, post Mauryas. Post Mauryas. Now remember one thing. अब ये जो gap आपको यहाँ पर दिख रहा है, this gap mentions one formula, that whenever there is weak central authority in India, or when there is no central authority in India, India will face foreign invasion. This is one of the formula in this. Getting my point? तो अब आप इसी फॉर्मूले को अप्लाई करेंगे. You have to apply this formula everywhere. That so whenever India will have weak or no central authority, India will face foreign invasion. So in post-Mauryan period, the most important feature was foreign invasion. This much is clear to all of you. अब ये आप हर जगह अप्लाई करना. When Gupta Empire got declined or ruler became weak, Huna's invasion took place. During the time period of Rajput, there was no central authority. Advent of Islam, Islamic kingdoms. Clear? When Delhi Sultanate declined, Mughal invasion. Getting my point? So remember this thing. When India have weak or no central authority, it results into foreign invasion. ये फॉर्मूला है हिस्ट्री के. जैसे मैथ्स में आप एक फॉर्मूला पढ़ते हैं फिर उसको अप्लाई करते हैं, सिमिलरली इन सोशल साइंस आल्सो यू विल गेट फॉर्मूलाज. गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? दैट इज व्हाई इट इज कंसीडर्ड एज सोशल साइंस. कुछ तो साइंटिफिक होगा. Getting my point? Then another important topic, after post Mauryas, again India got integrated in the form of Gupta Empire. Getting my point? Then again, when Gupta ruler became weak, from there only, which period start? Post Gupta. When Mauryans became weak, post Mauryan. When Gupta became weak, post Gupta. So this gap will be called as, इस गैप को हम क्या कहेंगे? Again same formula, foreign invasion. Getting my point? And 10th important topic, Rajputs. But it comes under medieval India. From here only medieval India starts. This much is clear to all of you? Draw कर लीजिए. Chronology. Clear? Draw this. You can just write down the time periods. Around 200 BC till 350 AD or 330 AD. And then Gupta Empire 330 AD till 550 AD. And then post Gupta period 550 and which one? 185. 185. And this is later Vedic period C. Clear? Now tell me that before 10 years, Bangalore was having same climate as we are facing today? No. What was the reason? Climate change. Getting my point? Climate change is not a new phenomenon. It is an old phenomenon. Getting my point? अब ऐसा मैं क्यों कह रहा हूँ? Because when Earth was formed, Earth was formation of Earth in different stages, and the last stage is Pleistocene stage, is also called as Ice Age, where everything was covered with ice. This much is clear to all of you. So at that time, human beings were also there. So when human beings were there, so they used to live inside the caves so that they can keep themselves warm. So necessity was there, need was there, that they need any warm thing. This resulted into the evolution of fire. Clear? And the caves from where we got this evidence, those caves are in Andhra region, Kurnool caves. Getting my point? So remember one thing, one more formula is there in history: necessity is the mother of invention. जब भी जरूरत होगी तभी invention होगा. Clear? You can just write down one more formula. Necessity is the mother of invention. This much is clear to all of you. Now, अब एक और चीज समझ लो, कितने लोगों ने ये वाली पेंटिंग बनाई है स्कूल में? सभी ने बनाई होगी। टीचर ने बोला होगा सीनरी बना दो। हम्म। सन भी है। ओके, sun is also there. Then this side you'll see that houses are created, trees are created. Clear? Then trees were also there. Then birds, these things were there. And then here nearby areas, agriculture. Clear? Now what is the relevance of this painting? That earlier the earth was covered with ice. People used to live near this areas, hillocks of the mountain. This is considered as hillocks. So there only caves were there. Getting my point? Then gradually from 10,000 BC, climate was changed and warm climate. From 10,000 BC, warm climate. Climatic conditions were changed. That is why it resulted into, if warm climate will be there, then ice age. So that ice will start melting. So when ice starts melting, formation of rivers. Getting my point? So rivers will be formed. That is why that early peoples, early man, hunters and gatherers, they used to live near hillocks areas and nearby rivers. Getting my point? Because river area, and because of this you will see that small agriculture will be started. And if rivers come, one more occupation will come into the picture called as fishing. जब रिवर्स आएंगी तो फिशिंग भी एक ऑक्यूपेशन होगा. क्लियर? सो दिस रिजल्टेड इनटू फ्रॉम हंटिंग गैदरिंग टू फूड प्रोड्यूसिंग इकोनॉमी. गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? अब देखो तुम कितनी अच्छी चीज बनाते थे. क्लियर? विच इज रिलेटेड टू हिस्ट्री. क्लियर? ड्रॉ कर लीजिए एंड ये लिख लीजिएगा, वार्म क्लाइमेट फ्रॉम 10,000 BC. क्लियर? That is why you will see that first civilization, Indus Valley civilization, that was created near rivers only. Indus and its tributaries. जो पहली civilization बन रही है वो कहां पे बन रही है? Rivers के पास. Clear? Draw this. Done. So this line is clear to everyone that history is a chronological account of events as they took place in the past. Clear? Now, so in first chapter, we are going to understand some of the basic things. Now, why it is important to understand history? Because history is going to tell us about some elements like past, then second important thing, culture and lifestyle. How particular culture or tradition got developed. Getting my point? Then it will also help us to solve the problems of present world. As I have said that it is important to understand past so that you can make your present better and future glorious. Clear everyone? Now, with respect to culture, culture is always based on geography. Remember this thing? Culture always based on geography. Now, how culture is based upon geography? For example, Himalayan region. Islamic peoples are also there, Hindus are also there. Getting my point? Though the religion is same, but if you compare the culture of Karnataka and Kashmir, culture is different. Religion is same, but fooding styles of Kashmiri people will be different. Clothing style different. Why? Because of geography. Cold area hai, so woolen clothes will be there. Getting my point? So culture is always based on geography. And remember this thing, religion is always based on faith or belief or philosophy. This is the difference between culture and religion. And today, why there are religious conflict? Because people have integrated culture with religion. Clear? जब आप culture को religion से जोड़ दोगे, religious conflict होंगे society में. Clear? For example, Assamese people are there, so their religion is same, but the culture is different. Getting my point? But if you try to impose your culture on someone else, on other states, then it resulted into a conflict. And what is the most important identity of a culture? Language. What is the identity of Karnataka? Kannada language. Identity of Assam, Assamese language. Getting my point? So सबसे important identity क्या होती है? Language. Getting my point? So you can just mention the difference between culture and religion. Clear? So that is the main reason why terrorism is there, because when Islamic countries, they try to impose their ideals on other countries. Getting my point? Now, for example, Lashkar-e-Taiba, different religious groups are there. When they try to impose their, not religion, they try to impose their culture in India or in any other country, that is why government has to take action. Getting my point? That is why it is called as terrorism. And if people do not adopt them, then they force people to adopt their culture. Clear? Through violence. Getting my point? And if violence is there, that means it is a kind of terror. Clear? So that is why terrorism was evolved. This much is clear to all of you? So that is why it is necessary to understand the basic things. Now, there are different time frames in history, like you must have seen BC and AD. BC means before Christ era, before the birth of Jesus Christ. AD means after the birth of Jesus Christ. Clear? Anno Domini. Clear? Now today, many of the countries, they do not use BC. Instead they use BCE or CE. CE for AD, BCE for BC. BCE means before common era, CE means common era. Getting my point? आज बहुत सारी कंट्रीज ने ये चीज चेंज कर दिया. That is why when you see new NCERTs, you will get BCE and CE. But if you see old NCERTs, BC and AD. Clear? This is the basic thing. Clear? So the first important thing is time frame. Now historians, they always use sequence. Now why this BC and this AD, why we started using it? Because of colonialism. Because colonialism was everywhere in the world. That is why whatever we read or whatever we see in present context, outcome of colonialism. Getting my point? So historians, they use chronological sequence for better understanding, and that is why birth of Jesus Christ has been taken as the year 0. Clear? Now why it is everywhere in the world? The most important thing was colonialism, because Europeans, they created colonies in Asia as well as other parts of the world. Getting my point? That is the main reason. So any event before Christ is called as BC, before Christ, and any event after the birth of Jesus Christ called as Anno Domini. Clear? But today it is important that we should understand that new terminologies also came into the picture called as BCE, that is before Common Era, and for AD, that is Common Era. Getting my point? Now, as we have discussed that the timelines of history are also divided into three parts: prehistoric, protohistoric and historic period. Getting my point? ये चीजें अभी हमने डिस्कस की थी. Clear? Three categories are there in ancient history: prehistoric, proto and historic period. Clear? So in prehistoric, Stone Age is there. Proto, IVC. Historic period, from Vedic period started. Getting my point? Because written literature was there. Clear? This is the main reason. This much is clear to all of you. Now, the first question: how, when, how, where. Getting my point? So first question in your NCERT is, where did people live? Now in ancient time, that is during the time period of evolution, people used to live near river valleys when rivers were formed. Getting my point? So people used to live near river valleys. Why? Because river provided water, and water was used for all purpose at that time. Getting my point? Second important thing, traces of life was also found near Suleiman and Kirthar hills in northwest. Present day, these two are in Pakistan region. Clear? Suleiman and Kirthar hills. So these two sites are very important. Then apart from this, from later Vedic period कब से शुरू हुआ था? अभी हमने समझा है ना? 1000 BC till 6th century BC. So there was some change in economy that resulted into the rise of Mahajanpadas. Mahajanpadas means big state. Maha means big, Janpadas means state. Getting my point? So Mahajanpadas like Magad, Kashi, Vajji, etc. Now, this is related to early time period. This is related to IVC. This is related to 6th century BC. Getting my point? And then another important thing, as we have discussed, the role of geography, that Himalayan mountain has acted as natural barriers or natural frontiers between India and Central Asia since ages. Getting my point? So these are the relevant. So people, they used to live near the hills, that is hillocks area. Hillocks, then near rivers, and then gradually you will see the formation of state. These are the evolution. Getting my point? This much is clear to all of you? Clear? So earliest people, they used to live near hillocks. Here only they discovered fire. Clear? Karnool caves. Then formation of rivers, they started living near rivers, and because of this only you will see IVC was created, and then the formation of state. This much is clear to all of you? Now, another basic question which is there in first chapter: how was the name India derived? अभी भी issue चल रहा था ना? Government started using Bharat, clear, instead of India. But when you go through the article 1, India, that is Bharat. So exactly what is the difference between India and Bharat? बहुत सारे लोग कहने लगे Bharat is considered as Hindutva nation. That is wrong. Bharat means culture. Getting my point? India means nation. When India was not there, Bharat was there. Getting my point? And the name Bharat was derived from one of the powerful tribes of ancient India called as Bharat tribe. And Bharat tribe is mentioned in Vedic. Announcement for all the civil services aspirants. At that time, numerous Aryan tribes were there, but those who are preparing for civil services examination. Legacy IAS has come up with one of the most important course and the most awaited course called as NCERT Foundation. Now, NCERT, which is that is why that North India was called as the land of Bharat, because Bharat kingdom was there. Getting my point? So Our country is called as India or Bharat, and Bharat was used by the people of North India in Sanskrit composition of Rig Veda. Abhi maine bola na, they are mentioned in Vedic period. Getting my point? So Bharat tribes were there, and Bharat tribes, they defeated other tribes, and that is why North India became a region of Bharat. Clear? Then before Bharat tribe, that region was Indus Valley civilization, the land of Indus. Clear? So Indus traces its root from the river Indus, which is called as Sindhu in Sanskrit, and from Indus only the word India came. अब एक चीज याद रखिए, for example, when Portuguese came, Portuguese was the first European who captured India. Getting my point? So Portuguese were the first. Now at that time, Europeans, they wanted to discover the route for Bharat. Why? Because they wanted spices. Clear? So Portuguese were the first who discovered the route. Before Portuguese, Columbus was there. Columbus also, he started sailing towards India, but gradually he moved towards America. So Columbus discovered America, but he thought that he discovered India. Getting my point? And then Vasco da Gama also came. He discovered real India. Before Vasco da Gama, that America region was called as India, the land of Indus. But when Vasco da Gama reached here, then in European world, it is said that there are two Indias, one in west, another in east. So that region became West Indies, and this was called as East Indies. India was called as East Indies. Indies means the region of Indus. Getting my point? And then when Europeans, they saw that the real India is East Indies, that is why the word India was derived from Indus. Getting my point? इसीलिए अब आप एक चीज डिफरेंस सीखिए, that in ancient time this region was called as Bharat. In medieval times this region became Hindustan, and modern times we call it as India. Getting my point? Clear? So Hindustan word was used by Islamic rulers. Clear? Bharat was used by ancient peoples. Clear? And India is a nation which was used by British. Getting my point? These three. So whenever you read ancient history, I always use the word Bharat. Medieval, I will use word Hindustan. Modern में मैं use करूँगा कौन सा word? India. Getting my point? So you can just mention in ancient Bharat, medieval Hindustan, and in 2024 again Bharat. Clear? 2024 again Bharat. Now you see, all the invitations of government are in the name of Bharat only. Getting my point? Even G20 summit was there around 6 months ago. So all the invitations used by President of India in the name of Bharat Republic. Clear? Even in United Nations they use word Bharat Republic. Getting my point? So remember this thing, Bharat word was used in Rig Veda. Clear? Now another question, how do we know about past? Now to understand past, we have two important sources, archaeological source and literary sources. Now first, try to understand archaeological source means study of inscriptions, study of artifacts, etc. Getting my point? अभी एक मूवी आई थी ना लास्ट ईयर, राम सेतु, अक्षय कुमार की मूवी आई थी ना राम सेतु, and he was an archaeologist in that movie. Okay, so archaeologists study the excavations, whatever the things that are discovered, artifacts. Clear? Historians read literatures. Getting my point? So literary sources will be understood by historians. Archaeologists, they will study these things, artifacts and important evidences, and based on their stories, historians will create history. Getting my point? Now, if I ask you that in Stone Age, where literature was not there, so how do we come to know about Stone Age? Which source, literary or archaeological? Archaeological. Archaeological evidences, artifacts like stone tools. We found stone tools. We found bone tools. Getting my point? These are the implements that archaeologists, they studied and then they calculated the timeline. Clear? Because of fossils, they use which technique? Carbon dating technique. Carbon dating technique. In carbon dating technique, अगर आपने वो मूवी देखी होगी, एक मशीन होती है, that machine studied the fossils कि कितने साल पुराना है. Getting my point? And through this only they used to calculate the age. And through this technique only, through Ram Setu only, that archaeologists, they calculated the birth date of Ram, Lord Ram. Getting my point? This is the main reason. Clear? So first important source, archaeological sources. Second is literary sources. Now in literary sources, there are two types of literature. One is considered as religious literature. Another is considered as secular literature. Religious literatures like Vedas. Vedas are Hindu religious text. Clear? Then Ramayana, Mahabharata. These are epics. Getting my point? On the other hand, secular literatures are based on laws like Arthashastra written by Kottapalya. Secular literature. Getting my point? Kalidas book. Clear? So these things comes under secular literature. So these are basically law books like Arthashastra. Clear? Niti Shastra, Dharma Shastra, etc. This much is clear to all of you. Two important sources are there to understand history, archaeological as well as literary. Clear? Draw कर लीजिए. समझ में आ रहा है? आपको जाना है? ओके. This much is clear to all of you. समझ में आ रहा है? क्लियर? कोई भी डाउट हो आप पूछिए. क्लियर? Done? So two types of literature or two types of sources, archaeological and literary sources. Now, what do you understand by this term archaeology? So, as we have said, that here archaeologists are very important. So, they study of human history and prehistory, prehistoric period. Getting my point? Based on these things only. Clear? That archaeological evidences are very important. Clear? So remember this thing. So archaeologists, what they do, excavations of the sites, important sites are there, and then they analyze the objects, whatever they found through excavations. Clear? Second, archaeologists, they use sources like monuments. अभी मैंने आपको बताया monuments, inscriptions. Clear? So they use sources like monument, artifacts, inscriptions, coins also, study of coins. Study of coins is called as numismatics. There is a word for study of coins called as numismatics. This much is clear to all of you. Then handwritten or any written record of the past is known as literary source. Clear? And literary source, this include two types, religious as well as secular literature, as we have discussed just now. Clear? So literary sources are of two types, religious literature as well as secular literature. This much is clear to all of you. Religious literature, like based on religions, like Vedas, then like epics, Quran, clear, Upanishads, these are religious literature. Then secular literature like Arthashastra, law books, these things. Clear, everyone? Then the question here is, why studied sources? Why we have to study these sources of history? Now remember this thing, there were two groups of people who study history. One is archaeologist, another is historian. Getting my point? So one group is called as archaeologist, another is called as historians. Archaeologists, as we have discussed, archaeologists, they study what? Monuments, artifacts, inscriptions, coins, all these things. Clear? So they basically study the remains of buildings. Clear? What kind of stones that they use, bricks, all these things. Clear? And on the other hand, historians, they are the people who study the past and they use information which they found in inscription. Like inscriptions was excavated, though how many years before these inscriptions were created, that will be studied by whom? Archaeologists. But जो चीजें inscription पे लिखी है वो कौन use करेगा? Historians, literature. Getting my point? So they read seals, they read scripts, all these things. Clear? Like ancient script, Brahmi script. So these scripts were deciphered by whom? Historians. Getting my point? So historians, remember this thing, there is a difference between historian and archaeologist. Both are different. Clear, everyone? Okay. Now, what are the ways to find out the past? So there are different ways. Like ancient time mein paper was not there. Getting my point? Cloth was not there. So manuscripts were written on leaves. Leaves par likha jata tha. Getting my point? So the most important thing is manuscripts. Now manuscripts were written on palm leaf. Like Arthashastra was the book which was written by Kottapalya. It was not written on a book. Clear? It was like a manuscript only. Getting my point? Then historians studied that Arthashastra and they form a book. Clear? Similarly, these manuscripts were written on palm leaf. Clear? अभी मैंने example दिया था ना राम सेतु movie का. In that movie also, that archaeologist went to Sri Lanka and he got manuscripts. Remember? All the images are there. Getting my point? So in ancient times, manuscripts were there. So leaves were used. Clear? Especially now these leaves or the material which was created through the bark of a tree. Remember the thing, they use basically bark of a tree like which is called as birch, and birch basically it grows in Himalayas. Getting my point? Then you'll see that over the years manuscripts were eaten away by insects because leaves were used. Getting my point? Many scripts were destroyed by foreign invasion also. Foreigners, they destroyed our manuscripts. Clear? So there are various reasons, but some of these scripts which are preserved in temples and monuments or monasteries. So from those scripts only we created our history. Getting my point? अब अगर तुम देखो कि पाकिस्तान की कोई हिस्ट्री नहीं है, अब वो क्या पढ़ाएंगे? Part of India only. Getting my point? And अगर वो ये कहने लगे that they were part of India, तो जो नेशनलिज्म है पाकिस्तानी पॉपुलेशन का वो खत्म हो जाएगा. Getting my point? That is why history is not a subject in Pakistan, because they were born in 1947. Getting my point? Then, so these books basically deals with all kind of subjects like religious beliefs, whatever the books that we got from our past, religious books are there like Vedas, Purans, Upavedas, Ayurveda, different books are there. So these books, religious beliefs, they also gives us the evidence of religious practices since ancient times. Clear? So that how many kings were there, what kind of medicine was used, how they created their kingdom. So all these information are preserved in these manuscripts. Like Arthashastra, it was in the form of manuscript, and it gives the important source of Mauryan Empire. Getting my point? So these things were there. Then another important thing is inscriptions. Now, what do you understand by inscription? Inscriptions are those things which are written on hard surfaces, either stone or metal. Getting my point? Inscriptions are those things which are written on hard surface. Remember this thing, which are written on hard surface, either stone or metals. Clear? So, in terms of inscriptions, sometimes inscriptions mentions about king's policy. Sometimes inscriptions were written to praise the kings. Clear? Like their court poets used to praise the kings for their victories. Getting my point? So inscriptions were written for two things, either to give their orders, king's orders, or to praise the king. Clear? So now another important term is archaeologist. Archaeologists, they study objects like inscription, rocks, monuments, etc. On the other hand, manuscripts are understood by whom? Historians. Clear? So these are some important keywords with respect to first chapter. This much is clear to all of you? So historians, another important. So thing is historians. So they only study about past. Getting my point? They read literatures with respect to past. Clear? Historians also takes information from religious scriptures. Clear? So that is why the role of two important groups, that is archaeologists and historians, very important. This much is clear to all of you? इतना समझ में आया? This is first chapter. Basic information clear हो गई. What do you understand by inscription? What is archaeologist? Then term historian. Clear? How they are different from each other. Everything is clear now. Clear? Now, second chapter, on the trail of earliest people. Earliest people in the sense with respect to Stone Age. So this, now this is related to prehistoric period. Prehistoric period. That is Stone Age. That is with respect to evolution. With respect to evolution. There is a theme of each and every chapter. Getting my point? Now, human life has been evolved in different stages. Now, let me tell you that in Stone Age, there are three stages. Now, there are three stages. Like first is Paleolithic. Second stage is Mesolithic. Third stage is Neolithic. And Paleolithic time period is from 5 lakh BC to 10,000 BC. Mesolithic from 10,000 BC to 8,000 BC. And remember one more thing, when you read Paleolithic, these things in NCERT, like in NCERT, you will get the term 5 lakh to 12,000 BC. But मैंने यहाँ पर 10,000 लिखा है. But in books, 12,000 BC. But that is not correct. As per Government of India, as per National Museum of India, it is 10,000 BC. And UPSC हमेशा वही चीज मानेगी जो गवर्नमेंट अकाउंट्स में हो. Getting my point? Remember this thing. So whatever the dates that we will discuss in class, clear, if there is any difference in your book, correct कर लेना class से. Getting my point? Because हर साल ऐसा होता है कि कुछ questions ऐसे आते हैं कि UPSC का आंसर अलग होगा, books में जो दिया वो अलग होगा, because UPSC always believes in government records, because UPSC is a constitutional body. Getting my point? And then Neolithic age from 8000 BC till 3500 BC. Now, first try to understand the meaning. Paleo means old. Lithic means stone. So this stage is called as old stone age. Getting my point? Paleo means old. Lithic means stone. So this age is also called as old stone age. Meso means middle. Lithic means stone. So this is called as middle stone age. Neo means new. Lithic means stone. So this is called as new stone age. Draw this. Clear, everyone? So now human life has been evolved over millions of years. So human evolution starts from here only, 5 lakh BC. Clear? So earlier human beings were not called as human beings. They were called as Homo erectus, 4-pod animal. They were like monkeys. Clear? And gradually you will see that upright man. And by 10,000 BC, they became human beings. Human beings means Homo sapiens. Clear? Wisdom human. Getting my point? So this was the evolution from Homo habilis till Homo sapiens. Getting my point? एक novel आती है ना, Sapiens. Clear? वहां पर आप देखिए evolution पूरी चीजें दी हुई. Clear? So from Homo habilis to Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens means wise human beings. Getting my point? So they evolved in over million of years. So in early stages, human beings were hunters and gatherers. Getting my point? They were hunters and food gatherers. They used to hunt wild animals. Clear? They used to kill fishes, gathered fruits, nuts, seeds. Getting my point? So if UPSC asks what was the economic nature of primitive humans or prehistoric period, hunters and gatherers. यही उनका economic occupation था. Clear? Because at that time industries were not there. So they used to hunt wild animals. They used to gather fruits from forests. Getting my point? That was their economic occupation. This much is clear to all of you? Now, the question here is, why did the earliest people lead a nomadic life? Now, nomadic means when people move from one place to other. That is called as nomadic people. Clear? So why people, they move from one place to other? In search of food, in search of resources. Getting my point? So the most important reason was why people were nomadic, because if they stay at one place, resources will get over. किसी भी particular resource को एक limited time तक ही use करोगे. After that you need new resources, so you have to move from one place to other. So if they stayed at one place, resources like plant and animal would finish. Getting my point? And for example, so seasons are also different and your body is adaptable to one particular season, then again you have to move from one place to other. Getting my point? So plants, they bear different fruits in different seasons. For example, in the month of November, December, clear, February, then January and February. So cold, this is considered as winter seasons. Getting my point? Winter season in northern sphere, but summer season in southern sphere. Australia में क्या होगा? गर्मी होगी. Getting my point? So that is why plant always bear different fruit in different seasons. Getting my point? So man had to move in search of these things as per different seasons. This much is clear to all of you. And the third important reason was people had to move wherever water was available. Now, in ice age, less amount of water was available. Getting my point? So they used to move from one place to other wherever they will get small amount of water. Getting my point? So these three are important reasons that is also given in your NCERT. Clear? So why did the earliest people they lead a nomadic life? Nomadic life means always move from one place to other because of these three reasons. This much is clear to all of you. Now, another, how do we know about early people? Now, as I have said, that there is no written literature. Clear? So from where we came to know? Archaeological evidences, artifacts, stone tools, bone tools. Getting my point? So as you can see, and these things studied by whom? Archaeologists. Archaeologists, they found several tools which were used by hunters and gatherers. And उस समय iron तो था नहीं. Iron was discovered in 1000 BC. That is why later Vedic period was started. Getting my point? So during this time period, they used stone tools. They use bone tools. Getting my point? These things were there. So tools were made up of stone and wood, bones of animals. Clear? And then tools were also used to cut meat, chop fruits. That is why during this time period, you will get choppers. You'll get blades, stone blades. You'll get burins. These things. You will get flakes. These were the tools. Getting my point? These tools we have found. Clear? And then wood was used to make huts and firewoods also. Getting my point? तो उस समय इन चीजों को यूज किया जाता था, नेचुरल रिसोर्सेस. Clear? That is why from these things we came to know about earliest people. Clear? Then another question, where did early man live? As I have said, they used to live in hillocks area, caves. Getting my point? Near rivers. Clear? So early man lived near the sources of water. Clear? So they used to live near the sources of water. Now they live in those places where stones were also found because they needed raw material for stone tools. So they used to make stone tools also, and the place where they used to make stone tools, those places were called as factory sites. So whatever the sites that you will get during this time period, those sites are also considered as factory sites because they used to make stone tools. Getting my point? Then those factory sites were found near discarded blocks of stones. Getting my point? Now, most of the factory sites, now remember this thing, India is a vast geography, and each and every region you will get different types of stones. Like in Deccan area, black soil area, which stone is available? Basalt. Basalt is there. In Karnataka area, limestone is there. And in North India, at most of the places, quartzite is there. Getting my point? अब यहीं पे connect करना, if UPSC asks any site with respect to North India, then the raw material would be quartzite. If they ask any site from Karnataka, then the raw material would be limestone. Clear? And if they ask any site from Maharashtra and all, then basalt. Getting my point? So always try to remember geography. Clear? So those sites were also called as factory sites, and these were also known as habitation cum factory site because at the same place they used to manufacture these stones, at the same place they used to reside also. Habitation place. Clear? Clear? So this is related to, now these are some of the important things, like as we have discussed that the stone age can be divided into three parts, that is Paleolithic, Mesolithic and Neolithic. Paleolithic is considered as old stone age, Mesolithic middle stone age, Neolithic new stone age. Getting my point? Second important thing in this chapter is how they used to make stones. So stone tools were they used to make with two techniques, stone on stone and pressure flaking. First they use like इतना बड़ा stone लेंगे, then उसके ऊपर stone रख के उसी से shape देंगे. Getting my point? And then if they want to create blade, then they will pressurize those stones. Now those stones will also be considered as soft stones, क्योंकि soft stones को ही आप क्या कर सकते हैं, flakes, blades का form दे सकते हैं. Getting my point? Then man discovered fire also. Clear? So accidentally one of the biggest discoveries made by man was fire. Clear? And with what was the name of that site where fire was discovered? Kurnool Caves, Andhra region. Getting my point? Now fires were used for lightning inside the dark cave. Getting my point? And to warm themselves. Clear? So two important things were there. Then over a period of time, man also learned several uses of fire, that how to use these things. Getting my point? अब ये कैसे होगा? जिसने अगर वो नॉवल पढ़ी होगी सेपियंस, then you will see that throughout a period of time the brain size of human beings becomes big. Getting my point? And जब brain size इंसान का बड़ा होगा धीरे धीरे, then वो thinking करना शुरू करेगा. Clear? And that is why formula, necessity is the mother of invention. Getting my point? This much is clear to all of you. So remember this thing. So fire was used in winters to keep warm, and this was also used in the art of cooking food. This much is clear to all of you. Now one of the most important source was rock paintings. Inside the caves, paintings are also found on walls. Now, what kind of paintings were there? Stick type painting. Stick type painting means like this. आप कोई sharp stone लीजिए और उसको wall पे घिस दीजिए ऐसे. Clear? So those kinds of paintings are found. Getting my point? Like the most important site was Bhimbetka in MP. Around 1 lakh paintings are there. That is why in present times this site is considered as UNESCO World Heritage Site. Getting my point? Bhimbetka is in MP area. That is why, as you can see here, these paintings are found in MP and southern UP area. Clear? So more than 1 lakh paintings are found. Stick type painting. Now UPSC always ask a question, what kind of painting? Stick type painting. Lines were there. Clear? Now early man's painted, and what they felt in these paintings, they represented in the form of painting. Whatever the things that they felt, those things are represented in the form of paintings. Like in terms of paintings, they represented hunting scenes, they represented dances. Dance, if dance is there, that shows what? That shows community sense. Getting my point? कि उन लोगों में भी एक community sense था. Getting my point? War scenes are there. That means the fight between different tribes. Clear? So these things are formed in painting. So they depicted hunting, women grinding, children jumping, all these things. Getting my point? These are the themes of paintings. Clear? And then in Deccan region, you will see Paleolithic sites are also found in Deccan area. Like whenever we say Deccan area starts from Maharashtra till Karnataka. Getting my point? So various sites are there which are found in Deccan. Like major sites are Chirki Nevasa in Maharashtra. In Karnataka also, like Hansgi, Brahmagiri, all these are sites in Karnataka. Getting my point? In Tamil Nadu, Pallavaram was the site. So Pallavaram was the first site which was discovered by the British of Paleolithic period. Getting my point? So various sites are also found in Deccan region as well as in South India. So this shows that Paleolithic period or Stone Age was there in whole India. Getting my point? Stone Age was there in whole India. This much is clear to all of you. So different sites are there. So in your NCERTs, not all the sites are given, but whatever the sites are given, that you have to read from these notes only. Getting my point? तो बाकी के जो और ज्यादा साइट्स होंगे वो आपके एडवांस क्लासेस में कवर हो. दिस मच इज क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ यू. Clear? Like as you can see here, Kurnool in Andhra Pradesh was the site. Then Hansdi in Karnataka was the site. Clear? So as you can see, these are the sites which are mentioned in Paleolithic period, like Godavari, Krishna, Tapti. All these rivers were there. Getting my point? Then large number of Paleolithic tools, they were made from stones only. These stone tools are found. Clear? Apart from this, you can see that archaeologists used these tools to study the lifestyle of human beings of that time period. Getting my point? So archaeologists with stone tools only, they studied the culture of early humans. This much is clear to all of you. That is why from archaeologists, from archaeological facts, from artifacts, we came to know that prehistoric period existed in Indian history. Getting my point? This is with respect to the second chapter. This one is clear to all of you. कोई भी डाउट हो आप पूछ सकते हैं. This one is clear to all of you. Clear? Now third important chapter, that is based on a different theme called as from gathering to growing food. Clear? So now you can take 5 minutes break and then we will resume this session. Clear? So till chapter 2, everything is clear. Now chapter number 3, from gathering to growing food. Now here the theme is gathering, that is from hunting and gathering to growing food. That means the birth of agriculture. Clear? Can we say that this theme is also related to that man from hunter gatherer, he became food producer? Clear? He became food producer. Now if he starts practicing agriculture, so now he will use animals for herding. Getting my point? So they will start domesticate animals. Getting my point? So the most important thing that you will see here is domestication of animals. Domestication of animals. Now if animals are domesticated, that means a new profession will come called as animal herding. Getting my point? Animal herding comes into the picture. Now this is Paleolithic period. Clear? And this is Neolithic period. Now what do you understand from this? That the birth of agriculture from Neolithic period. Getting my point? But between Paleolithic and Neolithic, one more period is there, Mesolithic. If you see the time period of Paleolithic from 5 lakh BC till 10,000 BC. Clear? Mesolithic from 10,000 BC till 8,000 BC. And Neolithic time period from 8,000 BC till 3,500 BC. So comparatively, the time period of Mesolithic is very less. Clear? So Mesolithic time period is considered as transitional period, the period of transition from Paleolithic to Neolithic. Getting my point? So now in this, a new stone age was started. That means the chapter is based on Neolithic period. Clear, everyone? Now this is based on new stone age. A new era of history was started. Why new era? You will see new things like agriculture, domestication of animals. Now domestication of animals already started from Mesolithic period. Clear? Then if agriculture will be there, so now you will see new crops. Clear? Agriculture gave birth to crops. Clear? Now, after leading a nomadic life for many years, man around 10,000 years began to lead a settled life. अब ये क्यों लिखा है एनसीईआरटी ने? Because if agriculture will come into the picture, people will settle at one particular place. आज आप देखिए कोई भी अपनी एग्रीकल्चरल लैंड नहीं छोड़ता. Getting my point? Earlier people were hunters and gatherers, so they always move from one place to other. But here now they will start settling. So now the settled life will be started. This much is clear to all of you. Now the beginning of food producer. So as climate of world changed, so as I have said, around 10,000 BC, the climate was changed. Warm climatic conditions came. Warm climatic conditions. Now warm climatic conditions, that means melting of ice and formation of rivers. So now river water will provide fertile soil, and that results into agriculture. Getting my point? So here you will see that climate was changed. That is why where edible plants were found, how seeds were broke off. Now the brain size of human beings also became large. Now they will start observing the things कि किस तरीके से seeds टूटते हैं, how seeds are broken down, how plants are created. So they will observe these things. Getting my point? So you'll see that how seeds broke off stalks, then how these things fell on ground, and how new plants are sprouted. Getting my point? So these things were observed by man. Observed by men. Clear? So man started cultivating crops after observation, and this resulted into a new occupation, that is food producer, agriculture. And the first crops to be grown were cereals and barley. क्लियर? अगर आपने इस साल की G20 समिट देखी हो, प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी हैज यूज्ड ओनली सीरियल्स फॉर ऑल द डेलीगेट्स in G20. Clear? That is why a national cereal day is created this year. Getting my point? So all the cereals, because due to different wars, due to different conflicts, there is a crisis in terms of wheat, rice and all. Clear? That is why we should have some substitute. That is why cereals are, and cereals are healthy also. Getting my point? So this is how, by the use of sickle, men became food producers or farmers. So with the use of sickle, a new tool came into the picture, and they started producing the food. Getting my point? Of food crops. Clear? So agriculture changed the life of a man, and they start leading a settled life. Now, if agriculture will come into the picture, don't you think that the formation of villages also took place? Clear? So the first evidence of village you will see in Neolithic period. Getting my point? First evidence of village. अब अगर मैं आपसे एक चीज पूछूं, इन सभी चीजों से हमें क्या समझ में आ रहा है? इवोल्यूशन. Clear? Progressive change in the life of a human being. Getting my point? A man who was an hunter and gatherer, he became a food producer. A progressive change. Clear? Now man as herders. Now men as herders, because now they started domesticating the animals like dog, horse, pig, goat, donkey, sheep, etc. Getting my point? So a new occupation came into the picture called as animal herding. Animal herding came into the picture. So the first animal which was domesticated was dog. Getting my point? The first animal which was tamed, it is called as dog. And animals provided at that time, different animals provided different things. Like most of the animals, they provided milk. Then during the time period of crisis or drought is there, if agriculture is not there, then those animals are also used for food. Getting my point? That means meat is there, and they also even carried the burden on their back. Donkeys को किस लिए यूज किया जाता है? To carry the burden. Getting my point? So human beings, they started using the animals for different purposes. Clear? Now remember this thing, humans, they have created wheel. Now just try to understand, if the agriculture was started, now for agricultural crops you need something so that you can store those crops. Then you will see the evolution of pottery. Potteries बनाई जाएंगी. Clear? But earlier man made pottery, handmade pottery was there. Clear? But when agriculture will start, then you need more number of potteries. But अगर handmade बनाओगे तब आप demand पूरी नहीं कर पाओगे. Getting my point? Demand ज़्यादा होगी, supply कम होगी. Then clear? Then you will see necessity is the mother of invention. Then people will start using wheel. Wheel made potteries will be created. Getting my point? So humans as inventors of wheel. So this is one of the biggest revolution. Now the revolution in early man's life came with the invention of wheel, and this wheel transformed the life of a man, because with this they will start creating potteries and different other things. Clear? So traveling and carrying heavy objects from one place to another, it will be faster with the use of wheel, and they will also use wheel in terms of pottery. Now potteries were there to store the food crops. Getting my point? So man learned to make clay pottery shaped by hand bagged in fire. Getting my point? And then those handmade pottery turned into wheel made pottery. Clear? So handmade potteries were created in Mesolithic time period. Wheel made potteries were created in Neolithic time period with agriculture. Getting my point? So Neolithic man was the first man who created wheel made pottery. You can just mention these things. Clear? Neolithic man created wheel made potteries of different shapes and different sizes. This much is clear to all of you. Now another question here is, how do we come to know about that animal herders and farmers? Ki animal herders and farmers उस समय exist करते थे. Again, the relevance of whom? Archaeologists. Whatever the objects that they found, based on that study only we came to know that animal herders and farmers were there. Getting my point? So as you can see here, archaeologists. Now archaeologists, they have found many traces of life of early farmers, that is from Neolithic period. Neolithic period. And then the traces of farmers and herders are available through traces of potteries. Getting my point? Through pit houses. Pit houses were also there. Pit houses means underground houses are also there. Then tools are also found. Paintings. In paintings also farmers are represented. Getting my point? Then settled life was represented. Potters were represented. Animal herders were represented. Clear? So these things are represented in paintings. Then traces are also found in Mehergarh area. Very important site from Pakistan region. Barza home at Kashmir. Kashmir region. Now Mehergarh was the first region where agriculture was started. Remember this thing. You can just mention. It was the first region where agriculture was started. Mehergarh. This much is clear to all of you. It was the first region where agriculture was started. Now, after Neolithic, अब यहां पर एक बहुत बड़ा चेंज आएगा. Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic. Old Stone Age, People were hunters and gatherers. Mesolithic, phase of transition. Here, hunter and gatherer became food producer. Agriculture was there. Getting my point? This is the time period 5 lakh BC till 1000 BC, 10,000 BC, sorry. And then 10,000 to 8,000 BC. And then 8,000 to 3,500 BC. This much is clear. Now, why here 3,500 BC is the dividing line? Because in 3,500 BC, discovery of copper, first metal was discovered. Getting my point? Copper was the first metal to be discovered. So copper was discovered in northwest region, that is in Rajasthan region. Clear? So even today also you will see most of the copper mines in Rajasthan only. Clear? So 3,500 to 1,000 BC. This period is called as Chalcolithic period. Chalcolithic. Chalcolithic means, chalco means copper, lithic means stone. So this stage will be called as Copper Stone Age. The stage will be called as Copper Stone Age. This much is clear to all of you. Now, the tools which were there, which were created from stones, which were created from wood, animal bones, but now tools will be created from copper. Metal will also be there. Getting my point? So this was the main reason. Now remember one more thing. Copper is not available in whole India. Copper is only available in Rajasthan area, Maharashtra area. South India copper is not there. आज भी copper south में नहीं है. Getting my point? So don't you think that Chalcolithic age will be there in south? No. Chalcolithic age will not be there in south. In south, after Neolithic, directly Iron Age will come. Iron was first discovered in Karnataka, Dharwad region. Getting my point? Remember this thing. So Chalcolithic age was there only in northwestern part. Clear? Because copper is not available in everywhere. Clear? This much is clear to all of you? Now, so Chalcolithic age. So here NCERT mentions that it was around 6,000 years back man started using copper. That means around 3,500 BC. Getting my point? Around 3,500 BC. Clear? So man started using copper, and now you will see copper tools also. And tools of copper was better than stone tools. Getting my point? And then that is why it is called as Copper Stone Age. And this is the most important transition from use of stones to metal. And copper was the first metal which was discovered, not iron. Getting my point? Second metal was iron. Clear? So northwest region, Mehergarh, as I have said, the most important region. Why? Because agriculture was started there. Clear? So the earliest known civilization of Indian subcontinent was in Mehergarh. इसीलिए आप देखेंगे that the first civilization. Now in Neolithic time period, agriculture, everything was there, and the background was created for Indus Valley civilization. Getting my point? Because of agriculture, gradually cities were created, and those cities became urban in nature. That period is called as Indus Valley civilization. So background of Indus Valley civilization was created by Neolithic period, not Chalcolithic. Now, if you see the time period of Chalcolithic and Indus Valley civilization, both are same. Now, let's take an example. First of all, there are some metropolitan cities in India. When today, like Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Calcutta, Delhi, all these are metropolitan cities. On the other hand, if you see northeastern states, Now, if you take the region Karnataka, only Bangalore is more developed than other parts of Karnataka. Getting my point? So Bangalore is in urban category. Other parts of Karnataka comes under rural category also. At the same time, Chalcolithic was also there and Indus Valley civilization was also there. Indus Valley civilization was urban in nature. Chalcolithic at the same time was rural in nature. Getting my point? You can just write down this difference. IBC was urban in nature. Chalcolithic was rural in nature. This much is clear to all of you? So Mehergarh was the first site where agriculture was developed in a Neolithic period. That is why in this region only you will see that the IBC will also be developed. Clear? So in Mehergarh only, it was here that man first started domesticating the animals also, and also man started reared those animals around 7000 BC. Getting my point? And then charred grains and bones of animals were found here. Clear? With food grains, animal bones are also found. That means with agriculture, hunting and gathering was also there. अब एक चीज याद रखिएगा, अगर न्यू प्रोफेशन आएगा, ओल्ड प्रोफेशन खत्म नहीं होगा. It will also be there. Getting my point? So in Neolithic period, a new profession will be there, that is food producer along with hunters and gatherers. This much is clear because agriculture is not available in all the areas. Agriculture will only be there where rivers are available. This much is clear to all of you. Then apart from this, glazed fanes beads were made. That means a kind of jewelry industry you will see, beads, moti. Clear? So these things were also created. Now these things will be there in Mehergarh area, which is also linked with rivers and coastal areas where you can easily get beads. Getting my point? So these things were there. So this is the importance of northwest region, Mehergarh. Apart from this northeast area, what was the culture in northeast area? Now in northeast area, there was evidence of early settlements. Now the most important sites in northeast was Manipur, Tripura and Garo Hills. This much is clear to all of you. Garo Hills, also one of the important sites of Paleolithic period. You can just mention also important sites in Paleolithic period. This much is clear to all of you. So important incidences are also there. And the most important site from Assam in Neolithic time period was Daujli Heding. Very important site because here we got the evidence of polished stone tools. In Paleolithic period, no polished stone tools, rough stone tools were there without any proper shape. Clear? अब आप देखिए, for example, when mobile phones came in the year 2000, at that time mobile phones were very big and thick mobile phones were there. But today mobile phones are small, slim mobile phones. This is called as progressive development. Similarly, in Paleolithic period, stone tools were blunt, rough shape. But by Neolithic time period, stone tools were small in nature. Clear? Sharper. Clear? So progressive development in tools also. Clear? So remember this thing, polished stone tools were traced. Ceramics and kitchen items are also found in Assam side, Daujli Heding. This much is clear to all of you. So these are the things which are found in this region. Clear? अब for example, tell me, अब ये चीजें हमने पढ़ी prehistoric period. Now tell me, according to you, what are the important things for UPSC in terms of prehistoric period? किन किन चीजों पे फोकस करना है आपको? Stone age means stone gives the message of evolution of human beings. Clear? Now you should focus on occupation. You should focus on different sites. कि किस साइट पे क्या पाया गया. Clear? You can just write down areas, focus areas, sites, sites and important traces. Second, occupation. Third, paintings. And fourth, climatic condition. बस इन चार चीजों पे फोकस करना है, इसके बाहर से कोई भी क्वेश्चन नहीं आएगा. Clear? But in NCERT only these things are given. Now we are going to discuss these things only in advanced classes in more depth. Getting my point? This much is clear to all of you. Now chapter number 4, in the earliest cities. Now in the earliest cities means this chapter is related to Indus Valley civilization, IVC. That is urban in nature, urban culture. Now the time period of IVC starts from 2900 BC till 1500 BC. Urban culture. This was basically evolved in northwest area, northwest region and North India. Another important feature, background was created by which age? Neolithic age. Clear? Background was created by Neolithic age. Clear? Now, the lifestyle of a man was changed after 3500 BC. Clear? After 47 years ago. Getting my point? 4700 years ago. Why? Because urban culture was there. Clear? So, copper was the first metal which was used by man, and it was followed by bronze. Clear? Now, bronze is not a metal. Bronze is an alloy. ब्रॉन्ज मेटल नहीं है. 6th क्लास की केमिस्ट्री अगर आप पढ़ेंगे तो आपको पता चलेगा. ब्रॉन्ज इज नॉट अ मेटल. ब्रॉन्ज इज एन एलॉय. ब्रॉन्ज इज क्रिएटेड बाय कॉपर प्लस टिन प्लस जिंक. Getting my point? You can just mention bronze is an alloy. Bronze is an alloy which is created after the mixing of copper, tin and zinc. Clear? So earliest cities were created in Indian subcontinent that emerged around 4700 years ago, that is around 2900 BC, and those cities were created on Indus and its tributaries. That is why this time period is called as Indus Valley civilization, because most of the sites are created on Indus and its tributaries. This much is clear to all of you? Clear? Now, the first site which was discovered is called as Harappa. Clear? Now, the story starts from when Britishers were there. They wanted to lay down railway line, and for railway line you have to excavate. Clear? So when excavation was started, they found a cities. Clear? And from there only they started the story of Harappa. Clear? So this story was, so the story of Harappa was started with British discovered a mound when they were building railways. So जब उन्हें वो mound मिला, then they started excavation, and then they got to know that in ancient time one big civilization was there. Clear? Then archaeologists were informed after that, and then archaeologists, they started studying those excavation and artifacts. Clear? So Harappa was the first site which was discovered in 1921. That is why Indus Valley civilization is called as Harappan civilization, because Harappa was the first site which was discovered. Clear? That is why it is called as Harappan civilization. Now, what are the architectural features? Now, Harappan towns are divided into two parts. The most important feature was Harappan towns. Question यहाँ से ही आता है ज्यादातर. Harappan towns generally divided into two parts. One is called as upper town. Another is called as lower town. Upper town was in west and lower town in east. Upper town, comparatively, it was small. Why? Because it was inhabited by rich merchants, administrative buildings, etc. Lower town inhabited by common people. आज आप देखिए, if you become an IAS officer, you are not going to reside among the public. IAS officer जितने भी लोग होते हैं, politicians and all, they always reside in that civil lines area. आपने देखा है ना, हमेशा IAS officer, IPS ये हमेशा civil lines पे रहेंगे, so that they should not merge with common people. Otherwise, their mind will also become like that common people only. Getting my point? They should always be surrounded by their category of people. Getting my point? Clear everyone? आप देखिए, किसी भी IAS ऑफिसर का बंगलो आपको यहाँ कॉमन प्लेस में नहीं मिलेगा. आपको विधानसभा की तरफ जाएंगे, उधर सब कौन से लोग होंगे? एरिस्टोक्रेसी क्लास लाइन से. Getting my point? This is the main reason. Clear? ट्रेनिंग में आपको यही चीजें सिखाई जाएंगी. Clear? So similarly here also rich merchants, administrative buildings were there, and lower towns common people will be there. Clear? This will be on appraised platform. थोड़े ऊंचाई पर होगा, but this will be on lower platform. Now if you go and see in Delhi also, all the ministries are on Raisina Hills, President's House on Raisina Hills. Clear? But common people other areas. Getting my point? This is the difference between upper town and lower town. So generally the towns were divided into two parts. Now towns were well or scientifically planned. Clear? Proper planning system was there. So towns were well planned and all the houses were built of burnt bricks. अब ये वर्ड याद रखिएगा, जितने भी हाउसेस आपको दिखेंगे आईवीसी में, क्रिएटेड बाय burnt bricks. Getting my point? And good quality bricks were there. So the most imposing construction of Indus Valley was Great Bath of Mohenjo-daro. Great Bath was found. Clear? And Great Bath was there in which town? Upper town. Great Bath was like a common bath rituals. Getting my point? जैसे आज कुंभ मेला होता है ना, कुंभ का मेला. Clear? Okay. Similarly, common bath was there. Clear? And the stairs were created from north to south direction, and in west and east changing rooms were created. Clear? So common bathing ritual was there. Clear? Great Bath was constructed. Then Harappan settlements had small citadels. Citadels means upper town. Another name of upper town is citadel. In Mohenjo-daro, big upper town was there, but as in Harappa, small citadels. That means small upper towns were there. Getting my point? So it was in citadel only. Different structures were built for special public purposes, like Great Bath was there. Clear? In citadel, upper town only. In citadel only you will see granaries were there. Granaries means where food grains were stored. जैसे आज cold storage होते हैं. Clear? Warehouses होते हैं. Similarly, granaries were there. Now during this time period, currency system was not there. Barter system was there. That means rich people, they used to collect tax in the form of grains, food grains. So food grains were stored in granaries. So that means if whenever emergency will be there or drought will be there, then those food grains will be used for purpose. Getting my point? Distribution purpose. Getting my point? Then the largest building that excavated at Harappa was Great Granary. Getting my point? Great granary means big granary was there. Big storage for food grains was there. Clear? And the most important feature of Harappa was well-planned drainage system. Drainage system was well developed in Harappan civilization. आज आप ड्रेनेज देखिए, हल्की सी बारिश होती है, पूरा पानी भर जाता है. At that time, all the drainage were covered with stone slabs. Getting my point? Each house was connected with well drainage system. That is why in 2015 UPSC asked a question that even like in Indus Valley civilization, huge scientific type planning was there, and even various systems were taken from Indus Valley civilization, but still compared to Indus Valley civilization, India is still struggling with well sanitation program. That is why government has to run Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Getting my point? These things are created. आज हर घर में एक टॉयलेट बनाने की बात की जाती है by government, but at that time all the houses were connected with drainage and proper washrooms were there. That is why even different scholars, they say that Indus Valley civilization was very advanced civilization at that time. This much is clear to all of you. So UPSC ने question किस तरीके से पूछा? They have connected present as well as past. Clear? This is the demand of UPSC. Clear, everyone? So remember this thing, the most important feature of Harappan civilization was well planned drainage system. These are some important features of Harappan civilization. Clear, everyone? Now the life of Harappa people. So Harappan people, they use common food items like wheat and barley was there. Rice was not a common food item, first of all, because 1 kg of rice requires 15 liters of water. Clear? And this site was created, this civilization was created in northwestern area. Northwestern area is a region important for what purpose? Wheat. Green revolution भी जो आया था, wheat, Punjab and all, wheat में आया था. Rice is important in terms of east, like Bengal, Bihar. Rice is important. Getting my point? Ganga area, Himalayan rivers. Getting my point? So Harappan people, they use common food items like wheat and barley. Animal bones are also found at Harappa, which include sheep, goat, and pig. Now remember this thing, cow was not known to Harappan people. Cow was introduced by Aryans. Getting my point? Cow was not known to Harappan peoples. Clear, everyone? So there are various pots are found. For what purpose pots are found? To store the food grains. Clear? Then now many kilns of baking bricks have been discovered, because baking bricks, burnt bricks were there, so bricks were constructed. Clear? And large number of burnt bricks also requires what? Timber. जलाने के लिए timber भी चाहिए. Getting my point? Then of the various articles, seals were the most puzzling. Why most puzzling? Because seals were used for educational purpose. Seals were used for trade and commerce also. For example, if government is sending anything, any consignment to other country, on that consignment, the seal of national emblem and president of India will be there. Similarly, trade and commerce trade was there in Indus Valley civilization. So seals were there. Clear? And seals were also used for educational purpose. Seals were also used for trade purpose. Even when we say educational purpose, so on seals only, mathematical signs are found, like the sign of pi. Getting my point? These things are there. Clear? Now, when we say seals were used for religious purpose, because on seals only we got the image of Proto Shiva. Clear? Pashupati, mother goddess. Clear? On seals only these images are found. Through seals only we came to know that tree worship was there, people tree worship was there. Clear? So seals were also used for educational purpose, religious purpose, economic purpose, etc. Clear? So at that time, now this is urban in nature. Now urban in nature, so urbanization was there in terms of fashion also, like necklaces, armlets, finger rings, bangles. These things were there in Indus Valley civilization, and these industries were also there. Getting my point? So that is why these things were worn by both men and women. Clear? This shows urbanization. This shows richness of this civilization. Clear? So both men and women seem to be fond of ornaments. Clear? So these industries were also there. Now, in terms of trade, so trade was there in Harappa. Harappa was in northwestern part, Pakistan area, and Harappa is also connected with other regions like Central Asia. Clear? So trade and commerce was there. So trade was there in Harappa sites. Clear? And it suggests that long distance trade was also existed. Now trade was with Mesopotamia civilization also. Where is Mesopotamia civilization? Present day Iraq region. Then trade was there with Oman region also. Trade was there with Afghanistan region also. These are the evidences. Trade was there with Iran also. Iran civilization is called as Sumeria. This much is clear to all of you. So trade relations were there with different regions. So goods coming from outside. So from outside, what kind of goods came? Like copper from Rajasthan. Getting my point? Copper from Rajasthan, because copper was there in Rajasthan only. Then gold used to come from Karnataka, Kolar. Getting my point? Kolar region was there. Then precious stones from Iran and Afghanistan. Silver from Mesopotamia. At that time, Indus Valley people, they used to get silver from Mesopotamia region. Clear? Then even seals of Mesopotamia has also been found in Indus Valley. अब मेसोपोटामिया की भी सील्स पाई गई हैं इंडस वैली में. दिस शोज ट्रेड रिलेशंस एंड इंडस सील्स आर फाउंड इन मेसोपोटामिया आल्सो. क्लियर? देन seals of Indus Valley have been found in Mesopotamia. Clear? And Mesopotamian seals are found in Indus region. This represent what? Trade relations. Clear everyone? Now Harappan cities in Gujarat. Now Gujarat was very important in terms of Harappan civilization. Two important cities, Lothal and Dholavira. Lothal was the important port. That is why ship industry was there in Lothal. आज भी देखिए, all the ship industries are in coastal areas only. Goa, Cochin. Getting my point? Because ship industries वहीं पे होंगी जहां पर coastal areas होंगे. Clear everyone? So Lothal, so two important cities, Dholavira and Gujarat, Dholavira and Lothal. Dholavira was full of traces of fresh water and fertile soil. If you see Dholavira land, this is like road, and on both the side water is there. Getting my point? Dholavira. And last to last year, Dholavira became 39th UNESCO World Heritage Site of India. Getting my point? Why? Because Dholavira was the only city which was not divided into two parts. It was divided into three parts: upper town, lower town, and middle town. Three towns were there. Getting my point? In Dholavira. Dholavira is the only city where three types of towns are there. Clear? Upper, lower, and middle town. Clear everyone? Now upper town, rich people; lower town, common people; middle town, middle class people, like aristocrats, bureaucrats were there. Getting my point? So three parts. Then Lothal was important center for making objects out of stone, shell, and metal. And Lothal was important dockyard, shipbuilding industry. This much is clear to all of you? Clear? Now, from 1900 BC till 1500 BC, decline of Indus Valley civilization. Getting my point? Now, why there are multiple reasons for decline of IVC? Ecological factors, clear, deforestation, dried up of rivers. रिवर्स सूख जाएंगी तो जिन रिवर्स की वजह से सिविलाइजेशन बनी थी, अगर वो रिवर्स खत्म हो जाएंगी, सिविलाइजेशन विल आल्सो डिक्लाइन. क्लियर? फ्लड्स वर देयर. गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? सो remember this thing, that Indus Valley civilization was there. The main period of Indus Valley civilization starts from 2500, though it starts from 2900 BC, but from 2900 to 2500 BC, beginning of IVC, mature phase starts from 2500 BC. So from 2500 to 1500 BC, IVC was there, and from 1900 BC to 1500 BC, decline of IVC. Getting my point? So perhaps IVC was destroyed by earthquakes, floods, or change in the course of Indus River. This much is clear to all of you. River has changed their direction. Clear? Earthquakes were there. Now, how earthquakes destroyed civilization? Because earthquakes destroyed mountains. If mountain gets destroyed, so rivers originates from mountains, so rivers also change their direction. Getting my point? Then some historians, they say that invasion of Aryans. Aryans came in small groups. Getting my point? So Aryan invasion is also one of the reason for the decline of Harappan civilization. This much is clear to all of you. So in this manner, this civilization was declined by 1500 BC. This much is clear to all of you. Just if you have any doubt, you can ask. So this is all for today. In the next class, we'll start with new chapters. Clear? So we have completed till chapter number 4. Clear? So next class we will be completing this NCERT. This much is clear to all of you. Now when you go and read NCERT, it will hardly take 1 hour. Getting my point? अब आपका 1 hour में पूरा NCERT के chapters खत्म हो जाएंगे. क्लियर? तो इससे आपका टाइम सेव हो जाएगा. क्लियर? पढ़ने का जो टाइम है आपका, बट आज जाके क्लास 6 की जो NCERT है वो आप लोग पढ़िए. क्लियर? एंड नोट्स विल बी शेयर्ड ऑन योर पोर्टल. क्लियर? थैंक यू क्लास. a biggest announcement for all the civil services aspirants as well as working professional, those who are preparing for civil services examination. Legacy IAS has come up with one of the most important course and the most awaited course called as NCERT Foundation course. Now, NCERTs, which is considered as the background of UPSC and the lifeline of UPSC civil services examination. For example, you cannot create a building in a single day. A strong building requires a strong foundation, and that foundation is NCERT. तो इसीलिए Legacy IAS Academy लेकर आ रही है NCERT कोर्स, जो कि इस वीक से ही शुरू होने वाला है। तो जल्द से जल्द आप सभी लोग एनरोल करा सकते हैं फॉर योर बेसिक प्रिपरेशन।